Hey, what's going on, guys? Brace yourselves for a very long one because we have quite a few units to review here. Zack, Angeal, Chizuru on the tape version, the new Hyoh, finally, the new Hyoh, and Rufus Crowns. So, Zack's STMR has 500 flat attack for himself, but 92 attack in general, so you probably will be expecting, if you're playing the JP side, a lot of people are probably going to be pulling him just for the STMR, just to get that EP more attack, and Dark Visions for that little extra. I think that's what's happening here with that. And his leader skill is 500 percentage, 500% attack in magic, and 200% defense spirit for lightning or Final Fantasy VII units. That's a pretty good variety. Cloud obviously falls under this, and that's what you probably would want. 150% lightning amp for himself. Attack resist break ability could be useful. His lightning, fire, and ice imbues and amps for himself. I believe, yeah, they're 40% amps. 100% all killers. 100% TDH, 500% cap. The LB is just, it's the same, it's like they're both the same, so I'm just going to read the LB and then read the other one. 40% Great Sword in Peril, 130% Lightning in Peril, 80% Defense Break. Why? 250 times Lightning physical damage, 3 hits. You're never using this. And the SLB is the same exact thing as the top part, except the damage is higher. That's it. And it's different hits. 350 times lightning physical damage, 27 hits instead, and it's delayed. And we've been seeing a lot of delayed 27 hit LBs recently. I'm not really sure why they're doing this. Why is there a difference between 27 hits? Why can't they all just be the same? I don't like this delayed stuff. Besides his leader skill, I really don't see much in him in terms of premium besides his vision card, which is good for lightning units. Not really seeing the premium aspect of this character. His SLB and LB are just, they're really nothing that special, and his ability is really nothing that special either. He only has an 80 times mod boost on his cooldown, so you only go with like 400 times something, 400 something times, and you can't use. Well, actually, it would be like 500 something times, I guess. Can't use Titus STMR because he already has the passive for 5 turns. So it wouldn't really matter since he's on a Brave Shift unit anyways. And his SLB is back to 27 hits instead of 24. I guess we really forgot about the 24. And it's variant 2. Why? I don't know. But let's go ahead and reveal the score here for Zack. Poor Zack is only getting an 8 out of 10. That's pretty generous, because I think he will do good damage, but I don't like that it's delayed. At least that's what it says it was. Maybe it's not, but it most likely is. So I don't know why he's a premium. Besides, you're only pulling him just for the leader skill, just for Zack, or just for Cloud. Sorry, the new Cloud. So Cloud will be doing a lot more damage than under the leader skill for sure. But that's really it. That's the only reason you pull him. He's not going to be that amazing otherwise, guys. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into the next unit here, who I think is a little more promising. And he's actually not premium. Angeal here. So his STMR gives him 2000 flat attack, which he needs because he's basically in the breaker roll. And you know how breaker rolls go on the JV version, where they don't get a lot of stats and stuff like that. But he has something that's quite good. 160% lightning in peril on a cooldown, as well as 89% defense and spirit break. So not too bad on that. You get to do that on a cooldown. 160% machine killer for all allies on a cooldown, and it's not locked to anything. He has Stardust Ray, AoE, and Bolting Strike chaining, various killers. 200% LB damage, 500% cap. He has Shelga and Protectica if you awaken those. Those are mitigations and stuff like that. He has a Dispel and a Heal. Thought I'd mention that. I mean, it's pretty interesting. His LB is 140%, 145% Lightning Peril, 200 times Lightning physical damage, 10 hits. You probably would never want to use it besides maybe like on the first turn or something, I guess. And the SLB is 150% Lightning Peril, 250 times lightning physical damage, 27 hits tag chain. So he doesn't even have 160% on his SLB, which is interesting. Not in a good way. So you really would be using that cooldown more often. And that's really only a source of break as well as that cooldown. So he only has 3 times mod boost for his LB. And his STMR being closed means that you can't really equip Tita's STMR, or you lose that on a 2000 flat attack, so I'm not really sure how you're supposed to manage that, but you're obviously not meant to do a lot of damage. He's obviously meant to be a breaker and a support tag chainer, and that's it. And comparing him to Crowned Edge, who is still quite good, comparing him to Crowned Edge, you trade off the Mirage, which is useful, for Machine Killer, which is more niche. And you also get the 160% Lightning Pearl on the cooldown instead of waiting several turns for that. So let's go ahead and reveal the score for Angeal here. Angeal or Angeal. 8.5 out of 10. I think he's fine. Not the best of all time or anything like that, but fine. Obviously he'll be good in cloud teams, but really that's about it. Or just, I guess, lightning in teams in general. But like, Edge exists, so it's kind of a hard sell. But he can get 160% Lightning Pearl on a cooldown instead of only 3 times in a battle. So it depends. It really depends what you like more. So let's put this back on. Still have a lot to go through. Here's the Hyoh from the Dark Visions Abyss. So if you ranked up a certain rank, well, I think you almost were guaranteed to get just him if you got even one of the lower ranks. But in order to get shards for him, you had to be a little higher, and I was able to get to EX2 on Hyoh. So his STMR is not great. I was expecting something more interesting and great for him, at least, or just in general for use. 220 magic, 200 greatsword, not the best, and it's only 50% LB damage. There's no flat magic for him at all, which is concerning, which we'll be talking about here. His leader skill, you'll never use it. I can't ever see it being used for anything. 300% full stat buff for evokers. You'll never use this. You'll never have a team full of evokers. There's no way that would ever be good. So his leader skill is pretty much meaningless, but I guess it's there. He has multiple store buffs. He has fire and lightning, bolting strike chaining. He has fire, AoE, and CWA chaining. Who even using CWA anymore? I don't know. Certainly not me. 150% Reaper Killer for all allies on a regular ability. He has auto revive for all allies. He has in his magic, he has 80% fire and earth resist buff for all allies. That'll be pretty useful against certain dark vision of bosses. Various killers, 200%. We don't really need the killers just for the chaining, I guess. But his LBs obviously won't care about those. 200%, 200% magic TGH, 500% cap, 150% Evo magic, 150% evoke damage. This is what I'm kind of disappointed about a little bit. His Phoenix Summon is a 35% fire amp field, but we have 40% with Lena, so kind of missed the mark on that one. So here's the thing that sets him apart, though, which is really interesting. He has a new mechanic, and we made sure to look through the translation of this cooldown here. It's a cooldown with 100% summon damage up. So it's pretty interesting, right? I think that probably would stack with Yuna's STMR, maybe. It might, because that's just a mod buff, LB mod buff for evokers, and this is just a summon damage up. This has nothing to do with LBs or anything like that. So it should stack with Yuna's STMR, technically. So yeah, 100% summon damage up. So if there's any, if this guy ever comes to global, Tsukiko might actually become even stronger because of this. But we don't know exactly yet. We don't know if it's exactly that amazing yet, because the evokers on JP are not really that amazing. We don't have Tsukiko, so yeah, his LB is Variant 2 delayed chaining, 27 hits, 50 times fire revoke damage. Remember, you could use Yuna's S-Teamer to boost that up a little bit, I guess. And also he has a mechanic where if you go below 11% HP one time only, you actually get to upgrade your LB past one time. Not really sure if that's ever going to happen, but it's possible, I guess. And then his SLB is 80 times fire evoke damage. Still kind of low, but it is chaining. Revive all allies, auto revive all allies, and also 50% mitigation for one turn, I believe, and also 100% HP recovery. Not really, that amazing, but it's okay, I guess. I forgot to put the chaining. It's also 27 hits delayed, so it's okay, I guess. He's not a finisher, of course, and he has no mod buffs to speak of for his LB or SLB. So let's get some cons here. He's very lacking in magic stats. I believe he can really only get like 8,000 without leader skill. Not that great. Might get a little bit more, but that's not that great. His flat stats are lacking. His leader skill is incredibly niche and probably will never be used ever. It's funny to look at least. A full team of evokers. That's never going to happen though. And he is not here for big damage. That is very clear. There is no mod buffs at all or anywhere on this kit. He has no 150% amps. He has store buffs, but no real big amps. You're bringing him for the 100% damage boost on that cooldown for a future evoker like Tsukiko and Global, for example, when he ever comes out. I'm pretty sure that even at that point, Tsukiko will still be very powerful for evoker. I don't think they're going to be making very many evokers in Global because they're pretty rare. So let's go ahead and reveal his score. Even though he's not really a pullable unit, I'll score him anyways. 8.5 out of 10. I think he's good for technically being free. Remember, you had to grind the regular Dark Visions, and then you had to grind the new event of Dark Visions, which is basically these Dark Visions but different slightly. So you had to do something, but it technically was free. Technically. Well, big air quotes on that one. And let's look at Chizuru on the JP version. She is not a banner unit. She is actually an EX ticket unit. So on JP there are certain units that are paid, like Carlet, Lauren, and Medina. And you have a ticket, you can exchange for them. So finally Chizuru is the fourth in that party, so now finally the three of them will actually have another person to talk to in that exchange pool, because Chizuru is here, and actually she is extremely impressive. Yes, she's a paid unit, so you pretty much expect her to be, but still impressive, even so. So her S-Team is just okay, kind of expected. She has infinite turns, which is already really surprising. On both sides, she has various 200% killers, plus another 100% more killer than EX2. She has a whopping 3,250 flat attack on her TMR or S-Teamer equipped, 250% TDH. I'm not really sure why it's not 300 or at least 200, or it's an awkward number, but whatever. 500% cap, 150% LB damage. She has a perfect Dispel Finger Snap, which is pretty interesting. You gotta awaken it, but it's pretty interesting. In her base form, she has lightning, light, earth, and wind imbues. Aren't those the same as Lauren? I think those are the same elements that Lauren has. I think. Close enough. I think it's lightning and light, but I think she has wind too, doesn't she? I don't think the earth, but I mean that's a lot of imbues. Those are 4 elements, guys. There's no element locking here. She has Bolting Strike, AoE, Started Strike, and also Aurora Ray chaining. Who's using that anymore? AR chaining? No one, but it's there. It's there at least. She has 3 Static Mirage on a cooldown. In the Brave Shift form, I forgot to talk about the LB in the base form. You're not really going to use it. It is decent, I guess, but you're never really going to use it. For all allies, she gives a 30% attack buff, 200% LB damage buff, 200% LB fill rate, which is actually pretty interesting. And, oh my god, we ran out of music. That's pretty funny. And 100 times mod boost for abilities, so, In the Brave Shift form, she has a 100% lightning and light and earth and wind amps. And those are just normal abilities. Now, they only last for 2 turns, but they're normal abilities. So you can just use them in rotation. So she has a rotation. She also has 100 times mod buff for her LB and a normal ability. So you'd use the 100 times mod buff, the amp, and then you'd use the LB is where her main damage is going to be. And her LB, speaking of, is 35% katana and peril, 300 times physical damage, tag chain, 18 hits. So that would actually be 500 times with Tita's STMR equipped, which is pretty good. 500 times tag chain with 100% amp. It's not 150%, but it's still 100% that you're able to do over and over. So actually, over time, she might actually pull ahead of 150% amp units because she can continuously do it over and over, like until the fight's over. These are normal abilities. Yes, they cost quite a bit of MP, but if you have someone who can restore MP, it's not a problem. I think it's insane how she's able to just grind out. She might be the strongest DPS that can grind out a trial because she's self-sufficient. She has the 100% amp. She has the mod buff, so you can do it over and over and over. The only thing you'd have to do is go back to her base form to imbue again, unless you have someone else who can imbue for her. But you continuously rotate that rotation over and over and over and over again. So the only thing that I can think about is this a nitpick, kind of, is it might be better equip her TMR 50% killers with katana equipped over her STMR and equip the 2-minute dark vision katana instead, because she might actually get more attack that way. That's it. That's all I can really think about, because she's just, her Brave Shift form is super incredible. You pretty much expect that, but I can get her to EX3 right away. You only need 8 tickets, and I've got 27. So let's go ahead and reveal the score. I'm doing this out of just. I mean, you can't really expect this to come to global or anything because it's already on global. This is a paid unit, so keep that in mind. She is getting 9 out of 10, but keep in mind most people are not going to get her because she's a paid unit. So 9 out of 10 for Chizuru. Super impressive. Very, very impressive. Everyone's expecting her to be, locked to an element or something ridiculous, and that didn't happen. She is very good. And finally, we have the meme of the channel. We have my boy, Rufus, crowned. So let's talk about it. In his Brave Shift form, his one cooldown is now 87% defense break, 50 times mod boost for normal abilities, the tag chain, and both tag chains, and 100 times mod boost for his LB, and now he has quad cast instead of triple cast for 6 turns. Not really sure why it's 6 turns when you only get 4 of those turns, but whatever. And he gets some things that are done for free. The non-elemental and also dark chain were boosted from 72 times and 63 times to 152 times and 113 times. So pretty good. His LB went from 110 times to 230 times, which is big. Can use Tita's STMR. So with that in mind, he's 230 times plus 100 times with the cooldown, and another 100 times with Tita's STMR. Now you're 430 times tag chain mod, which is pretty much comparable to modern DPS. This guy is almost as strong as modern DPS can be in terms of modifiers, and he is also a true dual unit. Remember, true dual got buffed, so he might actually reach 8,000 attack, give or take. Remember, he's a very old Neo Vision Awakening, even so. He did get 500 flat attack at EX3, and he has a gun that gives him 1,500 flat attack when equipped. The attack on it is a little on the low side, but he is a true dual unit, so you might actually benefit from that still, because you'd have 2 weapons equipped. His base form did not give very many improvements. and sadly still stuck at 4 turns, like I mentioned before. Still stuck with 4 turns, so you kind of have to get through it. But at the same time, it's kind of fair because TSS team are only nice for 5 turns anyways, so you just get through it. So I think he's very valuable. I think he's very good. I think that he's very good, and I don't think I scored him. No, I didn't score him because he's a New Vision Awakening. His crowns are free, so there really isn't any reason to grade him because you don't lose out anything. It's free. The crowns are free in the event. So very, very good crowns for a Neo Vision Awakening. I'm looking forward to seeing more Neo Vision Awakenings getting really good crowns like these. We'll have to see. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching. I don't believe that Tifa's information is out yet, but if it is, my bad. But I don't believe it's out yet. But I think we'll have to wait on Tifa. So if you were looking forward to seeing Tifa's changes, look for another video. Anyways, guys, this video might be one of the longest reviews of all time, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you watch all the way to the very, very end, type in hashtag Rufus MLG for the OGs out there that know what that means. Just type hashtag Rufus MLG. I might make a video on him soon. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate you. See you in the next video. Peace.